There is only one person that has kept up with this entire Fatal Attraction series.
I want to thank me. I want to thank me for believing in me.
And I'm sitting back thinking to myself, like, what more can be covered in this series? Cable got turned inside out by Magneto. Wolverine got his adamantium ripped out by Magneto. Professor Xavier went in Magneto's mind and shut it down, turned him into a vegetable. Wolverine found out he has bone claws and he left the team. What more can we cover in this series? Oh, that's right. There was Uncanny X-Men 304, where Colossus joined the Acolytes. We're about to take care of that today. My name is Dorian, this is SEM Comics, and we are covering the last part of the Fatal Attraction series with Excalibur number 71. Let's get into it. Hold up, time out before we go any further. Let's do some housekeeping. If you're on YouTube and this is your first video and you want to get caught up in the Fatal Attraction series, it is real easy. All you gotta do is go ahead and click the link to the playlist in the description. Easy breezy beautiful. I'm not a cover girl. You'll be caught up. And I wish it was that easy from my TikTokers. I have over 200 of you guys and you guys rock. But unfortunately, I need like 9,800 more of you before they give me access to a playlist. But if you go to my homepage, you'll see a link to my YouTube channel. You can get caught up that way. I hate doing it that way. I'd rather keep you on TikTok. But if you really want to get caught up and watch a playlist, you can go to the YouTube channel. Now, let's get into it. And it starts off hot. You got Spore taking it to Nightcrawler, hanging him from a cliff, pretty much telling him that he's not putting up much of a fight. That the flash scanners, that's what mutants called humans back in the day, put up more of a fight and they were in comas. If you don't know what I'm talking about, we covered it in X Factor number 92. But unfortunately, Spore forgot that Nightcrawler has a tail. He uses his tail, wraps around his neck, pulls him back, starts putting them paws on him. Getting to the point to where now all of a sudden he's picked up a rock and he's about to kill him. He's even saying to himself, why do I want to kill this dude? And then he turned to the next page, so it looked like he took him out. But then we see Rachel Summers and Kitty Pryde show up, and Rachel Summers has the power of the Phoenix Force, so she turns the rock into something harmless so that Nightcrawler doesn't kill him. And then Kitty has to remind Nightcrawler that Spore's mutant power is to emit a psychotic episode. That's why he wanted to kill him. So they detain him and they take him to Dr. Myra McTaggart. Now, if you're coming in from Jonathan Hickman's X-Men, this is not the same Myra McTaggart. She's not a mutant. She's just a normal human. And actually, Professor Xavier and Myra had a thing going on for a while in the 90s. So then out of nowhere, Professor Xavier, Jean, and Scott show up. And for all you 90s X-Men fans who used to watch the cartoon, they borrowed heavily off of this era, as you can see. So they're there because they want to use Kitty as bait because they know Kitty and Colossus has a thing going on and they want to try to help Colossus and turn him back to the X-Men. And Kitty don't want nothing to do with it. So when you hear that Professor Xavier can be an asshole sometimes, this is one of those moments. He starts to talk to Kitty using his mental abilities and he's pretty much telling her to stop acting like a child. And Kitty's pretty much like, that's just it. I'm not a child no more. I'm gonna help you, but you can't make me like what I'm doing right now. So then it cuts to Avalon and the Acolytes. And you see Kitty on the screen talking to Colossus and she's like, you know, she sees the error of her ways and she wants to join the Acolytes and she wants Colossus to come pick her up. And Exorcist is right there. And he's like, it's a trap. And Colossus is like, no, Kitty wouldn't do that to me. You know, I don't trust the other X-Men, but I trust her. And Exorcist again is like, it's a trap. And Colossus is like, no, it's not. He's like, look, I'm gonna let you go down there. I'm letting you know it's a trap. And whether you come back dead or alive, you coming back. So the transmission ends and Kitty goes to turn around and Cyclops goes to say something to her. And she's like, this is why I left the X-Men in the first place. I don't want nothing to do with any one of y'all. And then she just walks away. Phoenix catches up to her, tries to console her and everything else. But now we're to the part of the story that I just could not believe. When you turn the page, you see it's Cable. For those of you guys that have been keeping up with the whole series, you know what happened at X-Force 25. Like, how is he fine? I mean, he goes up to Avalon, he fights Magneto, and he's fighting the master of magnetism. He is half metal. So you know how this is going to turn out. I mean, he had to know. Once Magneto said, you know what, I'm tired of you, Cable had to be like,
Not like this. Not like this.
Magneto turned this man inside out. Even he was shocked when Cable was actually able to utter a word. And then when Cable transported himself to the ship where the rest of X-Force is at, somebody on that ship was like, what? I mean, man was done. So to see him 3 books later looking A-okay and fine, I call bull. I don't care what kind of futuristic tech he got. That dude was done. Done. Like, even if he didn't die, he should not be the same. Plain simple. So, getting back on track, the reason why Cable is getting all geared up is because he's been listening in on what's going on with the X-Men, and he doesn't want them to bring back Colossus into the fold. He feels like Colossus made his decision and he needs to live with it. He is now the enemy, and Cable is going there to do something about it. So then it turns the page and Nightcrawler is talking to Cyclops, and Cyclops is, asking about, how's the team going? And Nightcrawler's like, well, this member's doing this member's doing that, and they show all the team members explaining what they're all doing. Pretty much this is their way of getting rid of the old team and starting the new team fresh, led by Nightcrawler, Phoenix, and Kitty Pryde. So here's a cool moment between mother and daughter, sort of. Rachel's sitting there and she's watching the waves, and then Jean walks up. Now Rachel is from the Days of Future Past timeline. She was there. That's a dystopian future. It's one of the most famous X-Men stories of them all. So I'm probably not telling you guys anything you already don't know. But anyway, plus, they made a horrible movie about it. The movie was so bad. So Jean comes out and says that she was hesitant to talk to Rachel because she didn't know how to approach her. Obviously, she's not a mother yet, so she doesn't know how to kind of give motherly advice. But she does tell Rachel that her and Cyclops are actually working on trying to have her. God, that sounds weird, don't it? But anyway, they're having this cool mother-daughter moment, and then Professor Xavier interrupts them and was like, hey, Colossus is coming, you guys got to get to your places. So Colossus shows up and he starts talking to Kitty. So then on the next page, you see Cable climbing the cliff, and then Rachel comes out of nowhere and ambushes him. So this is a fight between brother and sister, except for they don't know it. Cable is from the timeline where Apocalypse rules the world. Rachel is from the Days of Future Past timeline where the Sentinels rule the world. Now they are the exact opposite of Tupac and his sister.
And even though we had different
daddy's the one thing they actually have in common, which is Cyclops. Cable is Madeline Pryor's kid. So technically, Jean didn't have Cable. And also she did because Madeline Pryor is an exact clone. I mean, exact. So take it how you want it. So while that's going on, Kitty's talking to Colossus, and then lo and behold, it's a trap, just like Exorcist said. And yet and still, he gets ambushed, he gets frozen in place, and he has a look on his face looking at Kitty of like surprise and also a little bit of hurt too. Then it cuts back to Rachel and Cable, and they are going at it. I mean, tooth to nail. Long story short, Cable gets distracted because Rachel like turned into something, and she used her Phoenix powers to knock out Cable. And now she can hear Cable's AI, which only he should be able to hear, but she can hear too. And she goes to talk to AI, and she's asking AI like, why am I so drawn to this dude? And the AI kind of knows, but the AI doesn't want to really tell Rachel this because I don't think he feels like she can process all that. So I'm not gonna lie, this comic book gets kind of boring after this point, so I'm just gonna kind of zip through it. They pretty much capture Colossus. They use a ray to get through his metal exterior, and he changes back into a normal human, and pretty much he explains exactly what we already know. The reason why he joined the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, or I'm sorry, it's not the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, the Acolytes, is because he still hurt that Ileana, his little sister, was one of the first victims of the legacy virus, and he didn't know how to accept that. So pretty much all that muss and fuss that they just went through, Colossus still goes back with the Acolytes because he feels like with him there, he could make a difference with them and possibly get them to start acting more like the X-Men instead of what they have been acting like. And that's pretty much how the book ends. Very uneventful, I'm not even gonna lie. I love this series, but it ended on kind of a bad note, especially at the end of this comic book. But please tell me what you guys think, whether you have read the series in the past or whether you're one of the few people that actually watch all the videos of the series. Let me know in the comments, how did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What was your favorite part? I want to know all the things. Please, all the things. In saying that, if you are new here to SEM, please hit that subscribe button and become part of this SEM Nation. Once you become part of this nation, hit that bell notification, you know when a new video comes out. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. My name is Dorian. This is SEM Comics. Thank you guys for watching my videos. I really do appreciate it. And you guys have a good day.